Okay, rumor mill. This is going to be a different kind of rumor mill. This whole episode has been just chock full of really kind of downer stuff, right? So this rumor mill is got a bit of a hope for the future, but we have one refutation, we have one confirmation, and then we have those MCU leaks. And boy, do we have those MCU leaks. We are going to get into some detail, maybe not as much detail as other channels do, but that's why this is generally nerdy and not specifically nerdy, right? So let's talk about some rumors.
It's classified.
Welcome, nerds, to the Clips channel. This is the reason why I'm convinced most people watch The Week in Nerddom as a whole. But if you don't know what I'm talking about, over on the main channel, Generally Nerdy, this is a small portion of the main show that I do on that channel called The Week in Nerddom. We talk about movie news and gaming news and comic books and so on and so forth. And we talk about the rumor mill as well, which, you know, that's why you tuned in, because you want to hear all of the juicy gossip as to what's going to be happening in the pop cultures. Okay, rumor mill. Let's get to these confirmations, refutations. A refutation. We talked about this rumor last week. It has now officially been shot to death by one Mr. James Gunn, and that is Daniel Radcliffe is not, at least currently, in talks to play Clayface. According to Gunn, they just got a director for the project, so they haven't even begun thinking about actors. I mean, I'm paraphrasing, but that's essentially what he said. I believe it was on his Blue Sky account because, yeah, Blue Sky. So, yeah, James Gunn just said there's no truth to this one. They haven't started courting actors for anything just yet because they just got a script done and now they just got a director. So there will be actors being considered for the part. It's not Daniel Radcliffe, though. So, continuing on. We have a kind of confirmation for a rumor that we have been keeping tabs on for some time, and that is the soft reboot of the MCU. So, Brad Winderbaum, who we talked about previously, is still on the press junket promoting TV stuff because he's the CEO of the TV side of things. Once again, Daredevil. He's promoting Daredevil, but was asked in an interview doing the press junket, you know, what does the future hold for the MCU? To which he replied, again, I'm going to be paraphrasing, to which he replied something along the lines of, well, when you have something this large, it's very difficult to completely reboot it because of the fan interest, because of fan involvement. So what that seems to confirm is they're not going to do a full proper hard reboot, which if you've been paying attention, you should already know, but it does leave open the idea of a soft reboot where they just start to recast characters as people age out of roles or as contracts come due and so on and so forth. So yeah, it leaves open the idea for a soft reboot, but kind of squashes the idea of a hard reboot. So quasi-confirmation, I'm gonna call that one. All right, nerds, so like I said at the beginning of the season, this season we are going to be doing a big push for the merch store. The rest of the month of March, we will be probably just continuing with the basic nerd stuff. I have a couple of new designs that are going to be going in that are not going to be part of the basic line. The basic line is not going anywhere, but if you want to support the channel, that's one of the better ways to do it. Go check out the store linked in the description. It is a spring store, and I haven't set up the proper URL, so it's Generally Nerdy store or anything like that just yet, but it is active and you can purchase stuff from there. So the link's just a little combobulated. Go check it out. Again, linked in the description. You can find all of your nerdy merch needs. We will be getting the Yoda pool design back up. We also are going to be doing a proper redesign on Do You Even Pop Culture, bro? Those will be going up before the end of the season. However, the first special design that's going up is going to be a variation on one of the nerd shirts that are already up there. So go get your basic nerd, and then if you are, you know, a gamer or a music nerd or whatever, then keep your eyes peeled throughout the rest of the season, and there will be something special just for you. So right now, what we got is the basic nerd. It's super cozy, super comfy. Go check it out. Link in the description once again. Let's get back to the news. Next up we have, we have the big one. We're gonna do the big piece, those MCU leaks, and then we will get to a couple of other rumors. So first off, normally we give percentage of likelihood for this. We're gonna save kind of that conversation for the speculation section in the rumor mill, just because there's so much in these leaks that we're going to spend a good portion of time talking about the leaks and what they are and what they seem to imply versus what we're actually going to be getting. So let's get to that. First off, the source. What are these leaks? These are leaked concept images for a number of MCU properties. At least one of which was a TV show that is no longer going to be happening. Also, we got Vision Quest, a little bit of Vision Quest in there, so we have kind of some idea of what's going on there. But the source of the leak is from Mushk Rizvi, who is a was anyway, a confirmed Marvel Studios employee who does concept art for the company. He posted, or his assistant posted, or something, posted these on ArtStation in a folder that was labeled, and I don't have this in the notes for whatever reason, but in a folder that was labeled something along the lines of unused concept art. And it seems that it wasn't exactly unused concept art. It was very, very quickly taken down once, it was known that it was up. But it was already too late because the community got their hands on it. And so, yeah, now people are spreading it around. So we're going to talk about it. So you're seeing these things up on the screen right now if you're watching. If you're listening on the audio, maybe go check out the YouTube or the Rumble pages because you'll be able to see this incredible artwork. But we have a couple of insights into some things. First up, let's talk about the Vision Quest. The artwork definitely includes two very notable pieces. First up is, where is it? The first image features Jocasta, the female counterpart to Ultron, who basically is just Ultron, like same head basically, just kind of a little more top heavy. So she was previously seen in a variant form in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D, suggesting her appearance in the series possibly. Another shows Peter Quill in the Vision Quest series. It's Vision and Peter Quill sitting on the couch together. That would be a really, really cool thing to see. We do know that there's not going to be like a Star-Lord movie, but we also do know that we're going to be getting Chris Pratt back as Star-Lord to some degree. That part has not been made known officially, so it seems they were at least at one point toying with the idea of having him be in the Vision Quest series, so that's pretty dope. The next set of images will be the Avengers Doomsday highlights. Notably, Doomsday, not Secret Wars, though also notably looks like it is setting up pretty well for Secret Wars. This one is, there's a medieval inspired setting with Doctor Doom sitting on a throne, with Doctor Strange standing next to him. Very, very probable battle world because of the Doctor Strange inclusion. Returning, you also see White Vision, Star-Lord, and She-Hulk. There appears to be an implication that they're going to be recasting Black Panther, though again, it's probably going to be a different Black Panther and not T'Challa. I still think that that what's his name, Chadwick Boseman's brother's statement should be taken into consideration, him saying that Chadwick would want them to recast the role. So I don't know, but we do see that. We see Fantastic Four cast in the Battle World images as well. And then from there, there are other projects that are involved here, like I said, that probably aren't going to be seeing the light of day. One of which very specifically is not going to be seeing, it's called Iron Man 3000, which was going to be a series on Disney Plus, which is no longer. This one is legitimately unused promo art, or concept art rather. But yeah, you see Morgan Stark, Pepper Potts. There was a race car themed show, so you see a different Iron Man uniform. You also see a younger female version of Vision. And then we get, this one's the really interesting bit for me, is the Fantastic Four First Steps concept art, We see the child that they're very likely going to actually have in the show, but it is very notably a single child and not two children. So in the comic books, we get Franklin Richards and Valeria Richards, their brother and sister. Franklin's the older of the two. It looks like in this movie, we're only going to be getting Franklin because we see a couple of pictures of him as a toddler and as a baby. But then also it seems, and Josh from the Nerd Avengers, Den of Nerds, there we go. Josh from the Den of Nerds thinks that the very or medieval picture with Doctor Doom on the throne with Doctor Strange next to him, there is also a small boy next to him. And in the comics, Valeria Richards has, she has a relationship of sorts, of like a uncle-niece relationship, nothing untoward, with Doctor Doom. So it's a very kind of conflicting situation for the Fantastic Four because Reed's daughter looks up to Doctor Doom as some sort of uncle-like figure, and Doctor Doom is the ultimate bad guy. So, like, how does that work out? It seems that they're going to be, at least, again, I believe Josh in his speculation, that at one point, if it's not still the case, at one point they were considering having Franklin Richards be the one who has the uncle-type relationship with Doctor Doom to further complicate things and make for very interesting storytelling. So hopefully that is the case. Also kind of cool that you see baby Franklin in Spider-Man pajamas. I thought that was pretty funny. So yeah, I think that covers largely most of what we got in those leaks. So it's really interesting stuff. Again, we'll get to speculation and get into kind of the nitty-gritty details of how much of that I think is actually going to play out. So let's move on to our next rumor, and this one is a Star Wars rumor. This one's very interesting indeed. So Star Wars apparently is up for sale. Disney is looking to get rid of their $4 billion investment. They did make their $4 billion back before they decided to run it into the ground. So maybe they're just calling it even Stevens at this point. I don't know. But not only, according to the rumor, not only are they trying to now sell off the Star Wars IP, but they've actually been trying to do this for approximately 7 months at this point. So I think that Disney would rather, and this is getting into my logic for our percentage, we'll get there. I think Disney would rather sit on a property as large and culturally important as Star Wars. They would rather sit on it and let it rot and then resurrect it in like a decade or so rather than sell it. So, because that is just the vibes, as it were, we're going to go about 30% likely that Disney is trying to sell off Star Wars and Lucasfilm. There is a little bit there that's like, yeah, they've run their course, as it were, and Disney kind of just wants to keep making money. So if they're putting money into a project that is not returning their investment, they're not going to want to put more money into it. So yeah, there's a little bit of reason to believe that maybe they would want to just offload it entirely. I just don't see that happening. So next up, we have a gaming rumor, and this one, gaming rumors, generally speaking, when we get them, are usually pretty spot on. Gears of War is what the rumor involves. Words. So Gears of War apparently is the new E-Day game. Was originally supposed to be launching in holiday of 2025, is now going to be sometime in 2026. So release date moved back. AAA title getting its release date moved back. In modern gaming? No, you don't say. Let's say about 90% likely that Gears of War E-Day will now be released in 2026 instead of 2025. Honestly, we'll probably be hearing about it in the legitimate news in the next week or so. So that's what I anticipate. And then speaking of 2026 and the Xbox, apparently, according to a leak that kind of blindsided me when I read it, Xbox is looking to launch their next console in 2025. They're going to be in 2026 rather. They're going to be launching the next Xbox in 2026. I don't see that happening really much at all. The best I can give this is 25%, and I feel like that's fairly generous. Will we see it after 2026, I think the next generation for gaming consoles is more likely to hit 2027, maybe even 2028. 26 is still a little too early, especially considering they haven't built up any hype at this point. They're there's a lot of factors here. So 25% likely for Xbox's next console. Oh boy. Subscribe. That is all. That puts us into speculation territory. Like I said, this is where we're going to talk a little bit more about the likelihood for those MCU leaks. So my speculation for this is we're looking at about 50%, excluding the Iron Man 3000 stuff, because we already know that that's dead in the water, but about 50% of what we got in these leaks is actually going to carry over into the properties. I think the Franklin Richards stuff is very, very likely. They're only going to have the one kid. It's going to be Franklin. Then all of those other rumors that we've heard that kind of rely on them having Franklin will make a lot more sense and will be a lot more probable. So yeah, the Franklin stuff, I think that I have notes. I swear I have notes. Planet Hulk is going to be quite different. I don't think that art is actually supposed to be from the Planet Hulk project. I think that is the portion of Battle World that came from Planet Hulk. So yeah, there's a lot going on here. I don't think that is actually the Planet Hulk movie, because that's very much still rumored, and I don't know, maybe he didn't work on it or something, but that seems to thematically tie in too closely to the other Doomsday images, so it just makes more sense that it would be part of the Doomsday movie. But yeah, we're looking about 50% of all of that stuff will actually resemble what we get in the end products. So that's what we've got for speculation, and that is what we've got for the rumor mill.
Thank you very much, nerds, for tuning in. If you want to level up your nerdy, geeky, pop culture knowledge, then don't forget to subscribe and do all of the things. Go check out the main channel, Generally Nerdy, for the larger portion. Again, you get all of the sections into one convenient video over on Generally Nerdy. The name of the show is The Week in Nerddom. Thank you for checking out this clip. We will see you next time. Before we go, though, always remember that if it's generally nerdy, probably here.